Hi, I'm Sagarika from BriBooks. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Daivik Deepak. I'm studying in class 7B in Indian School, Russell Kema, and I'm the author of The Nexus Divide.
Okay, could you please tell us something about your book?
Well, it's like a sci-fi type of book, which I really love, like different series such as Stranger Things and like Rick and Morty. So I was like, why couldn't they make a longer version? So I just decided to summarize it and create a short book on it.
So you do like watching shows like Stranger Things. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you like reading books about that as well?
Yeah, I love reading books like that.
Can you give me an example of what you actually like reading?
I like many books. There's like Ender's Game by the Scott Card.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, like I read it. I was just started reading it. I like reading not. I don't really like reading main game authors. I like reading small, like short, new
Okay.
authors.
Not too far-fetched, but just short stories, something like that.
Yeah.
Engaging but crisp.
hmm
Okay. So apart from this, what other inspirations you took for this book?
Well, ever since a child, I really loved like going to the arcade and playing like video games like that. So that was also one of the main parts. And I also like to be an automobile engineer, so I think that also.
Some interesting hobbies. Okay. So when did you realize you want to create something of your own or like start writing a book? How did you realize
Yeah,
that?
well, yeah, like a few years ago, I had written my first book, but it wasn't really like well paced. It was just a short, simple book to like spend time. Then I really got addicted to like customizing things. I started like playing with a lot of Legos and stuff. So I just started realizing I could put my own creativity and originality into the world. Then I remembered about like BriBooks.
And what was the reaction of your close ones or your family when you started writing a book?
Yeah, everyone was excited. My school as well, they like showcased my work, and it was like a nice time actually. Everyone loved it.
And how did you feel when you actually started getting achievements for it?
Yeah, I was actually extremely excited when I got invited for this podcast and like Sharjah's Children's Book Fair. I'd never expected it to be like successful.
Actually, I was reading your book before this podcast, and it's actually a very engaging story. I yet have to complete it, but it was still very engaging and interesting. Okay, so what would you say is the hardest part of writing a book for you?
The hardest part of a book for me is creating an ending. Like whenever I made the main idea and everything's like going down, I cannot ever find a suitable ending. Like I can never make a story and I just want to keep on writing and writing. So that's an issue that I have.
What would you say is the most favorite or the enjoyable part of writing?
Well, the favorite part of writing is probably designing each characters. I like giving them like quirky traits and different funny scenes as well.
Any incidents or people which have inspired you to write or create a character in the book?
Yeah, my sister. She has like a huge library in like our house full of books. She has like a diary. She writes many stories in them, and so that just inspired me to like start writing and trying out different.
Deepak, also I would want to know since it is a nice blend of adventure and sci-fi and also gaming. How did you think? How did you feel that you want to blend all of this in one to create a masterpiece?
I just chose the things that I really love. And I was like, okay, well, nowadays, like, things are being hacked and stuff. So I just made a hacker. Then I watched Stranger Things and stuff. I was like, oh, I could add aliens, portals, stuff like that. Then it just went on. And I never did.
So what do you think you would want the readers to take from this book? I mean, what message would you want to learn, or what do you think they should be getting as a perspective?
I think they should understand that we should always continue exploring and that we are never like old enough to stop adventure and that we should be able to like imagine and like flourish our creativity. Like no one should ever to stop our creativity basically.
Okay. Also, the title is very intriguing and creative. Nexus Divide. How did you come up with that?
Well, this is not really a title. I was just reading many books, like scrolling through Amazon to find like different new books. Then I just saw this a book called like The Nexus or something. Then I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool name for a sci-fi movie. So then I just added divide for like since the image that I chose was like a quarter and a half. So
Let's say you actually teleport into a reality which is different from this one and actually similar to the one you have created in the book, what would you do? How do you feel about it?
Well, it would be crazy since there would be many like enemies, but it would also be a nice experience because I would have many supporting friends who have like many traits that I would like to see in my friends as well. So it'd actually be really nice with an adventure like that.
So when you were, writing this book, how do you go about your writing process? Like, do you, draft the points you want in it, or you actually just go with the flow? How does it go?
Well, I just start by like typing the basically, if I get an idea, I just type it into a notepad or like write it into a notepad, and then I'll think of like things that I would like in my life. So I'll just be like, oh, I would like adventure. I would like to explore the world. Then I would like remember something. So I like really design the characters. That's the first thing I would do. Once I get an idea, I would design different characters. Then I would like, oh, those characters can do that with this. Then those will be useful at these times. And then by the time I do that, the entire story just comes together. I just fill out some basic parts.
So I feel like, characters are a very important part of the story because if readers are not able to relate with the characters, they are not going to, enjoy the story as much, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most engaging part of your book and which would, readers would relate to a lot?
Well, I think the best part is just the beginning because all people who read my book are most likely going to be in like school age, like who are going to school. So the fact that it just starts at school and they're in detention and it's just a group of friends just talking each other, that's such a relatable experience where you're all just sitting in a room, got in trouble, and you guys are just talking with each other. That's the one part that I feel like makes you think, oh, that could happen in real life.
Right. So what do you think is, you would want, and supposedly you have to give advice to the readers, sorry, to the writers who are actually planning to write, but, due to some kind of procrastination or some reasons, they don't write the book. What advice would you give to them as somebody who has achieved so much in their writing journey?
See, what I would let them know is if you get any idea, you can, if it's a really long idea, you can just summarize it. Just you can either type it down online in a notepad or just write it down. And once you have like many of those ideas and you start reading them, you would be like, oh my, this can like form a good story. Then naturally you will get an inspiration. But the main thing is you should not let anything like cap your creativity. When you start writing a book, you should like not really stop. I feel like many writers they start writing a book and procrastinate it for a while. But the thing is, if that happens, when you publish your book, you won't be as excited. So I think that you should try and create as much ideas as you can in a short period of time. Then all you have to do is like connect different parts. Which once you start reading your book and ideas, you'll just already get ideas to like create it and like go into a flow state.
But also, I feel like, there's this huge issue of writer's block. So the writers, they have this kind of gap in their writing where there's a writer's block, and then they don't know how to recover from it. What do you think would be the best way to recover from a writer's block?
Well, I would say, like you can search on the internet if you're like, suppose you just choose a theme, right? If you suppose you chose horror, you could search like horror themed books, like PDFs. You could just start reading the summary and like their different characters, what they do, and then people's reviews, and then you'll understand what the people actually like to see in your books, and you'll just understand the taste of various people. You'll understand others' experiences. That I feel like is the main way to like overcome a writer's block.
Okay, so my last question to you would be: do you plan on writing a sequel or some other book anytime soon?
Yes, of course. Actually, this is a really summarized and short form version of my original book. It's really long and it's been like a year. I've just been writing random parts of it. So yeah, of course, I would like to make it into like a multiple sequel book one day. I would like really start. Love to do that.
Okay, so why didn't you just go with the original one? I mean, why did you think it was necessary for you to, make it into parts?
Well, the first part was when I forgot about BriBooks after a while. I was just writing the other one. So when I realized it, this book fair, the NYF 2025 book fair was coming on. So I was like, well, I actually got a writer's block. I was like, well, I didn't want to copy all of this back from my Word document to this. It would take a while. So I was like, oh, well, I could just short form it and choose the parts that I really like and then I could like end it. I could be like, oh well, I'll make a new version next year, or like for next year, I could like make a new multiple version book. So I think that's why.
Right. I will be waiting for, another sequel if that happens anytime soon. And I hope we can have this chat sometime soon again with, you get some new achievements as well.
Yes.
It's wonderful talking to you. I would like to wish you all the best for your book writing journey. Also, congratulations on your achievements.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.